What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the PrizePicks Pick Show live once again. If you're tuning in on Twitter, the number one thing that you can do to help us and to help yourself, jump over to the YouTube stream instead. That way you can participate in the chat. We've got NBA playoffs kicking off in 45 minutes, a bunch of baseball games in 45 minutes. So we're going to try to get through these very quickly. I've got 6 MLB picks ready for you guys. Zach has already posted 4 NBA picks in the Discord. When we try to think about, okay, how can we separate ourselves? What makes our PrizePicks show better than all of the other PrizePicks shows around the industry? I think the number one answer is that, well, number one, I guess, is that we have got this 63.3% win probability on these picks. Really strong. Again, those picks basically coming straight from the model. Yes, Zach and I do our own analysis on top of what we're seeing from the model, but the model is absolutely a centerpiece to what we do, and it's going to be a centerpiece once again today. But then the second thing is, I think we take it a step further and we talk about the plays itself, not just here are a bunch of picks, do whatever you want with them, but here are the best ways to actually play these picks together in a 6-pick play, in a 4-pick play, whatever. So the 6 MLB picks that I have today, I'm also going to show you why you maybe don't want to use those as just one 6-pick play. Instead, mix and match a bunch of them with some of the NBA picks. So let's jump right in. We've got the tool up here, and I'm even going to, let's see, one second. So yeah, I'm even going to blow this up a little bit so you can see a little bit easier. We've got Bailey Ober and Reese Olson near the top here in fantasy points. The PrizePicks projections are 31.5 for Ober, 28.5 fantasy points for Reese Olson. We've got Ober at 36.2, Reese Olson at 33.1. Now, here's the really cool thing. As we start to add these in here, you can see Bailey Ober 66.6% to get more than his total, and Reese Olson 65.1%. But also look, there's this enormous correlation bonus. Now, why might that be? Well, there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to a baseball game. Uncertainty surrounding, like, how's the umpire going to call balls and strikes? Is he giving the corners? Is he not? Guess what? If he's giving corners, that helps both guys. There's also a little bit of uncertainty of how's the weather helping. Is, are guys hitting the ball hard up into the air and that wind is carrying the ball out, or is it knocking the ball down? So all of these things, that when we don't have the exact answer, we have a weather report, but we don't know exactly how the air is, affecting the ball that day, things of that nature. So whenever there's a lot of uncertainty, you actually get some hidden correlation. And in this case, it's a really, really strong hidden correlation. So I love pairing these two together. You can play them just, as one. I think the natural inclination for people would be to say, maybe the fantasy points are inversely correlated because only one of the two guys get a win. Well, it turns out in this case, not so much. Maybe if both of these guys were like right on their fantasy points projections or projected right on their fantasy point projection, where they were each, 55% likely to hit and they needed that win equity to have a better chance to go over their number, maybe then you'd see less correlation. But in this case, some really strong positive correlation. So I love this start. Love this start. Now we're going to go to my favorite prop over on PrizePicks, the hits plus runs plus RBIs. And right away, 2 teammates come to the top of the board, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, each projected for over 2.4 hits plus runs plus RBIs today. Today, we can put them in here, and we see both of these guys. Sometimes it takes a minute, especially we got a lot of people on the tool right now, so it's going to be a little slower than usual. But both of these guys, way, way up there, 56.6%, 57.4%. Again, the correlation is really strong here. So I love these two. And then the final two that I'm going to go to, same idea. Once again, we get some teammates. I'm going to go here and find, I'm just going to go to the Braves. Marcell Ozuna, Matt Olson, again, 2.3, 2.4 projected hits plus runs plus RBI. I can put these guys in there, 55 and 59%. And check this out, up to 5% added win probability here from correlation. So this is fantastic. You can see the true odds here are going to be plus 1,800. Now, why I mentioned earlier, I maybe don't want to play all of these together. If you go to PrizePicks and you try to put this exact thing in there, instead of the traditional 25x return for a 6 of 6, you're only going to get 22x. It turns out if you do 2 teammate pairs like this, Ozuna and Olson, and Judge Soto that drops from 25 to 22. What you can do is only include one. So if you started with these 4, for example, you're still going to get the regular 10 to 1. I'm going to take this group of 4, pair it with 2 NBA plays. I'm going to get 25 to 1 that way. Then I'm going to sub the Braves pairing in for the Yankees pairing, that sort of thing, 25 to 1 that way. So as soon as we are off of this show, I will drop all of the full plays into the Pick'em Discord. In the meantime, if you've got any questions, yeah, absolutely. NBA playoffs are here. We got 4 games today instead of 2. Should be easier to find some. So we're going to be able to build throughout the day as well, right? We've got some later MLB games. Of course, we have later NBA games. So we're going to be in the Pick'em Discord all day long. Make sure you're hopping in there. If you've got any questions over the next few minutes, maybe specific plays, maybe even have some NBA questions, we can go over to the NBA tool and look at those. So drop any questions in here. In the meantime, I can kind of just talk through some other, we can go back to the fantasy points projections and actually look at the fact that Jesus Luzardo really, really popping as well. In fact, let's see what that exact percentage is. Up to 77% estimated. Now, the wind is blowing out in Chicago, so I feel like there's almost a little bit of risk here. I don't think it's quite 77%, but what I will say is this number was 28.5 earlier. It has dropped to 26.5. So at the very least, the wind blowing out is already being fully accounted for in the actual line itself, this 26.5 number. So I do think that I will probably add Luzardo as well here at 26.5. It has come down too much. I was already talking in the MLB Discord earlier, wanting to play Luzardo on DraftKings if his ownership went down because of this wind. So based on the fact that his fantasy point projection has crashed over on PrizePicks, I'll probably add it there too. So lots of exciting stuff going on today. We've got now 38 minutes till tip in the NBA and about 43 until the MLB slate kicks off. So if there are no more questions, we're probably going to hop off here pretty quickly. Just get in the Discord, make sure that we are on top of all that timing-wise. Okay. All right. Last thing. If you've been watching our show, if you really enjoy it, if you maybe are tempted to start joining FTN as a whole, I got to let you know, our price has come crashing down. It's now just $299.99 a year to get all of the fantasy information, DFS information, which includes DraftKings, FanDuel, and now these Pick'em games here on PrizePicks and Underdog, and then also the full betting subscription. So you get all of that VIP access for just $300 a year, which translates into less than $21 a month if you're interested there. So we will see you in the Pick'em Discord. Thanks for tuning in. We will catch you next time, which will be on Monday.